So I've been talking to my therapist more and more, but also trusting him less and less. Because he started giving me like little pieces of information about his personal life, and I hate it. Like, we were talking about taking negative energy and using it in a positive and productive fashion. Classic therapy. And then he decided to give me an example. He said, you know, Jake, when I'm feeling down myself, I like to take all of that feeling and channel it square into producing my beats. And I was like, your beats? He was like, oh yeah, on the side I like to produce industrial electronic dance music. You want to listen to some?
No.
So now here I am in my therapy session, listening to his beats. And they were fucking awesome. I was like, this is your side thing? This should be your main thing. Being a therapist should be your side thing. You can't be that good at it. I'm fucking nuts. I started listening more, and the thought entered my head, though, they should have to tell you up front if your therapist is a DJ, and it should cost less money. I should not need health insurance to speak to a DJ. I asked my buddy, he goes to the same guy, I was like, do you know about this DJ thing? What do you think about this? He said, oh yeah, you know he can also do your horoscope. He's like a licensed astrologer.
What?
I was like, this is the most Los Angeles man ever. He's an astrologist, therapist, DJ. Named Tyler.
No!
I know, there's nothing wrong with the name, but it's not a doctor's name. It's like a nephew's name, if that makes sense. I do trust the man, though. I tell him everything. I mean, I tell him really intimate stuff about my life that I would never want anybody to know about me. Like, for example, I told him about the first time I ever touched myself and how it was to the little instruction booklet that comes inside the tampon box. That's true. I know, it's so weird, right? A man who reads? But you gotta understand, this was pre-cell phones, right? So what do you do in the bathroom? You just like read the back of all the soap bottles, whatever was within an arm's reach. Now I grew up with 6 women. It's why I know how to read and have long hair. But I bring this up because I was reading the back of the tampon box for like the 800th time. And I see this little paper sticking out of the corner. And I was like, who are you? Because I've read every book in this library. And I've never seen you. And as soon as I opened it, my little mind exploded.
No.
I mean, there was descriptions of concepts I hadn't even considered at this point. There was diagrams. They were a little medical, but there was diagrams. I was learning an incredible amount of information all at once. There wasn't really a lot in there that I could do anything with, but there was a lot about toxic shock syndrome. You have to look out for it. I learned that very young. And now I'm very old. I'm in my mid-30s. I can tell... Oh, that's okay. I can tell that I'm getting old, though, because I strictly shower sitting on the ground. I'm like, the water can come to me. I'm not making the commute. I got too much going on. You know what was like a hard thing in the mid-30s was I found myself for the first time in my life on the dating apps. I found that the one I liked the most was Field. Any of you guys recognize me from on there? If you're not familiar with that one, they have a bit of a reputation for being very sex positive. So you tend to see a lot of like the polyamorous community, like open couples, things like that. And I was surprised that this was where I found myself the coziest because like I've never been to a Renaissance festival or anything. I just liked how open everybody was on there, honestly. I found that since signing up for that app, though, I spend so much time Googling acronyms that I've never seen before. I'm going to give you some of the basics. Like, if somebody's profile says ENM on it, that stood for ethical non-monogamy. They swing. Classic. Easy. If it says GGG, I had to Google that. You ever heard of that one? It stood for good, giving, and game. It essentially meant you were like, open-minded in the bedroom to try things. There was one girl in New York City. I matched with her, and she said, "How do you feel about LIC?" And I was like, "Damn, I don't know what that is, but it sounds fucking nasty." I Googled it. It stood for Long Island City. It was her location. Man, the first time that I got on that app, I was just out of a 10-year relationship. And, you know, I just felt swaggerless. I felt rizless. I don't know if you ever had a relationship kind of like sour after the breakup, or the person maybe was talking shit or something like that. Since we live in Los Angeles, for me that took the form of my ex doing very angry slam poetry on TikTok. Have you ever had your life ruined by a slam poem? It's humbling. I felt like Drake. It changes the way you move around because you don't want to do anything that rhymes with anything. You want to make sure you're fucking dotting your I's. The first time that I matched with somebody on the app, my heart hit my shoe. I was scared. Because like I said, I felt swaggerless. I felt rizless. I felt so weak. And I just didn't know how to start. I didn't know what to say. And I had like matched with this beautiful woman. I'm trying to cook something up, and it still felt wrong at that point, you know? And then I see a little ... in the conversation. I go, oh, okay, cool. She's gonna like kick this off. And I bet she's old hat at this. She's gonna like ease me right in. She opened with, "Here's the deal. I go on this app, and I look for men with long hair." I said, well, I grew up with 6 women. She then said, "I asked that you come to my house, and we both strip completely naked." Whoa. Yeah, I said, you're speaking my language, girl. I'm in. And then she followed up and said, "After that, I want to shave you completely bald and videotape it while we both pleasure ourselves. No sex." Oh, no. So I said, before I even had a chance to reply to this woman, she sends me a link to a video sizzle reel of her doing exactly this with other guys she met off the app. And the production value was astounding. She's absolutely industry, I'll tell you that. She sent one last message at the end, and it just said, "So what do you say?" Which I thought was very nice. And that is why I'm wearing this shitty wig tonight. Thanks, y'all. I'm Jake Bradley. Appreciate y'all having me.